cousin's husband predicted that China will take a really bad flop, horrible flop in this stock market.
Well, the only thing with China is that China owes that money to itself. We owe the money to China. If China was ever to turn around and say, I
need some of the money back.
we could use a certain expression, but I don't think we should. But you know what it is, folks. Blanco get off the pot. China might very well
put us under.
Call its notes on us, and what are we going to do? Because we certainly don't have the money. I mean, we could print money, but what good is that going to do?
That's what one of the people was saying is, what's to stop us from just printing the money and giving it to them?
Really nothing. I mean, you probably need an act of Congress.
It would devalue the dollar, but
that money's going overseas anyway, so who cares?
Once it devalues, it's not just to them, it's to everybody.
Well, Europe is in pretty much of a turmoil economically. They have been for months, for the better part of a year, actually. It's not comforting to know that of all the major Western countries, the United States is doing the best. And when you look around and you see what's going on here, in truth, you really have to worry.
I mean, the stock market in China is going down 5% every day. The value, that's a heavy loss to do every day. Because the next day it's 5% off the 95%, actually. So it's really taking a whopping.
It's compounded. So it's pretty bleak out there.
And the other thing was that talking about that, we're just rambling on and off of different things that were going on as they pop in my mind anyway. The cop that was shot at 13 times.
And hit 3 times, and he was bleeding rather heavily.
Shot 11 times I think he was shot at.
3 bullets hit him, which shows, thank goodness, the guy was a bad shot because it was almost at point-blank range.
The guy went like this. So the guy shot him in his arms, broke his arm, but didn't hit him in the head.
Well, but the problem is, we know this, when a bullet goes into your body, it can fragment and go to different parts of the body. I mean, we remember the Zapruder film with Kennedy. The headshot, before the headshot, one of the shots, the bullet was spinning and it wound up splitting and going in all kinds of directions, causing all kinds of damage.
Yeah, but like I said, he was lucky that he put up his hands, so the bullets broke his, he fractured his arm and all, his shoulder or his arm, whatever. I mean, they did damage. They said because he was not critical, but he was in
guarded condition.
He was serious, serious condition. And they said the other thing was that those bullets missed his head by like
fractions of an inch.
Fractions of an inch, yeah.
And they also said that the shooter was radicalized. They did manage to confirm that.
Except for the mayor.
He's not saying?
You didn't hear what the mayor said?
No.
Oh, he said that there were 3 press conferences. One by the captain of the police force, one by the commissioner of police force, each one saying that the guy, it would appear that he was radicalized, that he was dressed in the white garb, and then the mayor said, don't associate this with Islamic terror. This was just a murderer and a thug.
Oh, he's been reading pages from the Barack
President.
Obama playbook, huh?
Yeah, the people were really.
And I'm a Barack Obama fan and
Yeah,
supporter.
Yeah, and no, people were really upset with what he said because he's the last one to speak, and he contradicted what both police, the commissioner and the captain who was there investigating it, and they really thought the guy was being.
It sounds like something our mayor, well, not our mayor, we're not in New York, but Mayor de Blasio would say,
Yeah, well, that, and now there's rumors on now we're Sanctuary City.
We are?
Yeah, New York.
Not as bad as San Francisco. Sanctuary City? Why? What happened? What did they do?
They're not not arresting anybody that ICE is looking for. They're not arresting in the city.
I think
what I want to know.
Be ashamed.
I don't know if it's true though. It's been a rumor. It's been posted all over the place. But rumors are just like
right.
But one thing does bother me. There's a congressman from New York that wants to offer them free medical and free education.
We don't even give that to our own people.
They want to give them free college. They want to do that in California. They want to do. Wait a second. Why would you do it? Why would you give free medical and subsidies to people who are not even citizens, and not give it to your own citizens, to your own people?
That's taking it a bit far. I mean, I consider myself a Democrat and a progressive, but I mean, my kids had to take out loans to go to college, as I'm sure many of our listeners' children had to do. And to just take people and give them free higher education, I understand that that's what Hillary would like to do and Bernie would like to do if they get into the presidency for public, colleges.
No, forget about public. Listen, it's an honor and a privilege to be a citizen
in this country.
And it's a privilege. It's not anything that's, well, if you're born here, I guess it's a given thing. But it's a privilege. I'm sure you can have your citizenship taken away too. I guess can you have your citizenship?
If you're convicted of treason, you lose your citizenship. Certainly.
But it's a privilege. It's an honor, and
it's something we take for granted. I remember back when the Vietnam POWs came home. One of the first things that many of them said was that you don't realize what it's like to be born in this country and have the freedoms that we have until you lose them, and then you come back, okay, and then you appreciate it all the more.
So why should you give these privileges to people who have not earned it and give them more than what we get? And that's one of the big arguments that they have against all these
this is
illegal aliens. That's one of the reasons.
That's right.
Why people don't want them here, because they're getting so much more than we are. We don't get free anything.
I don't know. I know that upsets one of my friends to no end. He talks about one of the first things they do, the undocumented people, is they look to see where the Social Security offices are, and they register right away, and they get free medical, and they get Medicaid, and they don't pay for a thing.
Nope. They get housing.
That's right.
A lot of times.
Section 8 housing.
And they're proposing to do this as a law. Give them more privileges than we get.
Well, I would definitely vote against that. As much of a liberal as I am, I think that's unconscionable already. It truly is.
So,
but we'd like to hear what you have to say. So remember, the number is 516 336-8510. Give us a call. The chat rooms are open.
We have 2 chat rooms open, both on Spreaker and Blog Talk Radio. Also, I want to just give a little shout out to our listeners in Ireland. We seem to have gathered a very steady audience in Ireland, and about 5% of our listeners are now coming out of Ireland on a steady basis.
I think if they tune the Blarney Stone in just right, they can actually hear our broadcast.
Yeah. So I want to thank you. And again, you can, for the people who are in there or in Brazil, or some of the other countries that we have listeners, can Skype us. Our Skype ID is CC Radio Network. So there's no cost for the call, and you can come in and give us a call. I mean, we don't normally get calls from overseas. We've gotten one from where did we get that one from the one time? Pakistan, I think we got a call from, or India.
India,
but we really don't get any calls from overseas. So anybody that's listening, live, even though I guess it would be really pretty impractical with the 5-6 hours difference for anybody in Ireland to be listening to us live.
Well, right now they're 6 hours ahead of us, or 5 hours, so they're like 2 in the morning.
So
they could be night owls. You don't know.
Yeah, but one too many stouts, and who knows what they'll say in the show.
Very true. Very true.
But anyway, so just want to thank that, and I want to say hello to now most of the listeners in the show listen to us on to our blog,
right?
To our podcast. And we have a nice audience that listens to us in iHeart. We have iTunes. We have people that listen to us through our website.
Are we on YouTube? I don't know.
We're on YouTube too. Yeah, we have listeners on YouTube. Absolutely. iTunes, TuneIn.
As Timothy Leary would say, tune in, turn on, drop out.
We're also, I think, in SoundCloud. I don't even know where we're at already. We're in a lot of places. If you want to hear us, we're available.
Speaking of hearing us, I think this is another good moment to play another David Bowie song. Play the same thing.
Another one? I don't know any other songs.
Well, play the same thing. That's his big hit.
How can you play the same thing? That's not right.
Why not? It gives us a chance. I mean, you have to go to the bathroom. Come on.
I do?
Well.
How about if we play something different completely?
No, play one more. Well, then before we leave, we have to play that song before we leave.
No, okay, wait. No, I'm not going to. Well, let's see. Let's see what else we got here besides Space Oddity. How about... But you know what? I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to take you up on your suggestion. I'm not sure what it was.
I don't remember myself.
Did you suggest something?
I think you said I suggested something.
Oh. Let's see. What are we gonna do? Is our other intern around today, or you don't know?
Say that again?
Our intern around today? Our intern.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, neither do I. Intern, where are you?
Just wait a second. I think she just texted me a message.
Okay, here.
She said, play Changes. It must be one of his songs.
Changes?